Good evening. Here we are, 2 weeks in, day 14. Nearly forgot about this. So I just wanted to do a quick recap on this week's challenge. For those of you not aware, I'm doing a challenge that is very highly described in the videos in the playlist in my description. So please do check that out. If I put my hands up and you notice that they're all yellow, it's because I've just been making my own curry paste and I'm covered in turmeric and it is everywhere. It looks like I smoke 60 cigarettes a day. Focus. Yeah, stupid camera. Anyway. We talked a lot about addressing depression and trauma before it starts this week. I'm recognizing what you can do to try and not prevent it per se, but just to give yourself a better chance of dealing with it. I think that went okay. I didn't get any feedback, so I'm assuming no news is good news. Like I did say, I did make mention of the fact that psychologists and psychiatrists are not as easily available in Ireland. If you have access to one, please do avail of them. If you don't, then there are counselling services and therapists who specialise in these areas that you can seek out. And know that you're not alone. Now that sounds like a cliche. There's a lot of things you hear in cliches that you hear people say. You're not alone, you can talk to me, reach out to me, why didn't they talk to me, if I had only known, these kinds of things. The reality of it is that people who don't have depression or trauma, mental trauma, don't know what it's like to have to deal with that on a daily basis. They don't know what it's like inside your head. In the same way that I don't know what it's like to be gay, they don't know what it's like to have something in your head that you just don't know how to process. And when somebody says, you know, you can talk to me anytime, I know I can talk to you anytime. And I'm saying this from personal experience. If you haven't watched the videos, I'm fine. I have had depression in the past. And I know what it's like to be depressed. So I speak with some level of experience. People will say, you know, you can talk to me. We know we can talk to you. You know you have people you can talk to. But making those words come out of your mouth is much, much harder than you might think. It may seem like a very simple thing. You can talk to me about anything. Sure. But there's a whole load of judgment that goes behind that from a personal perspective. You fear how you're going to be viewed from then on. You fear how people are going to treat you. You feel that people are going to treat you differently. And depression is also very often belittled. It's expected that you take a drug and it goes away. Or you do this and it stops. That's not how depression works. Depression is and can be omnipresent. It can be there all the time. It's a problem that it's white noise. It's just always there, and it goes in waves and peaks. Days where you're feeling really good, days where you're feeling really bad. So it's not something you can just easily fix with a click of the fingers and it's gone away. Or you do one thing. You know, you have a psychologist now. Why would you be depressed? It's not how it works. So if you, as an observer, as an outsider, I reckon, if you're not someone who has depression or suffers from any kind of post-traumatic stress or trauma, then educate yourself what the symptoms are and how to deal with it. There's also an awful lot of posts I've seen lately is what not to say to somebody who's depressed. Please seek those out because they are very pertinent. And they're very good and they're mostly correct. You don't say things like snap out of it. Or sure, if you just get out of bed you'll feel better. There's no magic wand. There's no simple way of fixing depression apart from talking about it and having people to talk about it and being able to talk about it. And talking about it with somebody else means the other person has to be listening. So if you say to me, you can talk to me about anything, and I go and I talk to you, and all you do is tell me what you think. I think you should do this, I think you should do that, I think you should, I think if you change this, you'd be better, I think if you do that, whatever. That's not helping. That doesn't help. You need to listen. It's the one thing you can do as somebody who is an ally to somebody who has depression or trauma, is listen. You need to shut up. You need to let the other person talk. And sometimes it means sitting in silence for a very long time. Hours. Weeks. Waiting for something to happen. And that's the way it is. If you rush it, if you try and make it happen faster than it's going to happen naturally, it's like any wound, it takes time to heal. You can't scratch yourself, get a scab, pick it off and it's gone. That's not the way it works. It takes time to heal. And the healing process is different for everybody. The healing process is, for some people, for a lot of people who have depression and trauma, never ends. It's never fully achieved. All that you get to is a point where you can deal with it better on a daily basis, manage it on a more, make it more manageable on a daily basis. So, anyway, I'm very happy to discuss this further with you. If you like, let me know what you think. I think on day 13 I put links to various different counselling services. If you need them, check them out. And yeah, let's just keep going. My daughter loves to watch Frozen 2. And as Anna says, do the next right thing. Put one foot in front of the other. And we'll get there. A good analogy actually for how this works is the fact that when I started doing this, I couldn't do 25 press-ups in a day. I had to drop to my knees. And now I can. But it's taken 2 weeks just to improve going from 20 to 25 press-ups in one time. That's slow going in my books. So if you imagine dealing with depression in a kind of a simmer fashion, you can go day 1 to day 15 and nothing changes. Progress is very, very slow. And with depression and trauma, it takes very little to set somebody back. Any kind of trigger. You might see trigger warnings and content warnings on stuff, CW or TW on posts, if you don't know what that is. Content warnings and trigger warnings. And you might think, that doesn't bother me. If somebody's been affected by those subjects, it can, if you've made a month's progress in your depression, it can set you back 2 years. So don't belittle these things. Don't assume that you know what's going on. Don't assume you have all the answers. Don't treat it like it's not real. Don't treat it like it's something that can be fixed overnight. It can't. It takes work. It takes a lot of work. It's taken me 3 years to get to the point where I can talk about it. So yeah, and I didn't even know I was depressed. That'll tell you. I didn't know that's what I had going on. So yeah, take it easy. And we'll talk to you next week.